Hi, Regina Roberti, founder of Life Transformation Solutions. I'm a certified holistic health coach and sleep specialist, and I just wanted to answer a question in regards to first-timers dealing with insomnia. What is the first line of treatment? And the answer is a non-pharmacologic. And so what that means is non-pharm meds or OTC meds. So if you were to all of a sudden experience insomnia, the first line of treatment is not to run to a doctor and not to run to over-the-counter medication. You want to find out what exactly is creating this insomnia in the first place. And by running directly to medication, you risk having more symptoms, either from side effects of the medications that you're taking or compounding the belief that you're not going to sleep again. So the first thing you want to do is look at something called stimulus control. So what is stimulating around you? So there's sleep hygiene out there, which talks about making sure that you are not being overly exposed after it gets dark outside naturally to LED lights. LED lights mimic the sun. When the light goes into the eyes, what happens is it tells the brain that the body doesn't need to make melatonin. But at night, when the sun goes down and we're not around really bright LED lights, TV screens, which are all LED now, tablets, cell phones are all LED, and even fire tablets and reading tablets. So all of that tricks the eyes into believing that it's still daylight out and messes with your hypothalamus and its production of melatonin. Melatonin is, well, it's serotonin too, and so they all work together to tell the body, one, it's important to make melatonin, and when melatonin is made, it helps to create a regulated sleep cycle. When it gets dark, your body knows that it's time to go to sleep. Within a couple hours, you're tired and ready for bed. When the sun starts to come up in the morning, it tells your body that it's time to wake. The light that gets through your closed eyelids will start to stimulate the decrease, not stimulate, but tell the body to stop making that melatonin so that it can get up and be productive. So look at the stimulus that's going on around you. Also, look at the stimulus that's going in you. So you want to look at what you're eating, what you're consuming all day long, high in sugars foods, high carb foods that turn to sugar in the body. Are you drinking caffeine, energy drinks? What are you doing on a regular basis that might be telling your body that it's not tired, and your mind that it's not tired and that it needs to stay awake? So creating healthy nighttime routines that help your circadian rhythm kind of create its own rhythm and allows you to sleep when it's time to sleep and wake when it's time to wake is the first thing you need to look at. It is lifestyle. It is habit. It is probably the most important thing that you should look at. The next thing is that you should look at, as far as stimulus goes, is what is creating this high energy? Is it anxiety? Is it worry? Is it stress from your current life situation, whatever you're going through at the moment? We all go through hard times, and sometimes that makes it really difficult for our brains to shut down long enough to alert us that, it is that late. It is time to get some rest. So the next thing after stimulus control is, if you are dealing with a lot of stress, your diet is clean, you're not doing all the LED stuff at night, you're wearing blue light blocker glasses. The next step is, how can I train myself to relax? If I'm having high anxiety and I'm worrying and I'm stressing out about things, I need to tell my body internally that it's okay, that I don't have control over that, and that I can relax enough to go to sleep. So looking into different forms of relaxation is going to be really helpful. I did create a video, and the title is top 10 stress reduction suggestions. So you can find that on YouTube. I will post the link in the comments just to make sure that you get there. And so I discussed many different ways on how to reduce the stress in your life, because when I see my clients, that is a very big effector to what's going on with them. And the last thing that I would recommend is if you have been dealing with insomnia and it's kind of intense where it is keeping you up for long periods at night, what I would highly recommend is trying out different forms of sleep restriction depending on what your day looks like the following day. I would not recommend this to people who have to drive to work, have kids to deal with, who do heavy lifting at work, that really need some control over what's going on with them. A lot of times when you're not sleeping, as you know, you're dealing with a lot of brain fog and confusion and frustration and anxiety, and emotions are high. And so sleep restriction can be really good because it can help reset your circadian rhythm where you're getting your body so tired, but you're keeping it awake until the following evening without any stimulants, as much as you can handle. As long as you aren't feeling at your absolute worst, you can keep yourself awake until you normally would go to sleep the night before, and then allow yourself to fall asleep. The one thing that I always recommend to my clients never to do is don't focus on the fact that you're not sleeping. And I know that's hard to say. It's almost like don't look at the purple elephant in the room and then you can't help but look at the purple elephant. But finding things to distract you, keeping your mind busy, not worrying about whether you're going to sleep or not is probably one of the biggest things that you can do, because once you start to get that fear around not being able to sleep, you're telling your mind to create neural circuits that are pathways to that thought over and over and over again. The more that you stress about something, the more those pathways are created. And it's a belief that is so repetitive, mixed with a lot of emotion, that it creates that cycle of the inability to sleep. So those are my first recommendations for line of treatment when dealing with insomnia. Of course, if you've been somebody dealing with insomnia for a really long time and you're past the point of these things aren't working, you need to see a doctor. So if that is helpful for you, then great. Like, share, comment. If you aren't suffering from insomnia or sleep dysregulation, but you know somebody who is, please send them this video. Maybe this and my other information that I've been putting out will be very helpful to them. So thank you and take care.